Hello everybody, this is the Starving Martian, and today we're taking a look at the Mars Attacks Brain Disintegrator gun from 1996. I'll be honest with you guys, I almost did not do this review. This particular item has been in my possession since 1996. It's been transported in when I moved. It's been kicked around various boxes in the attic. It's a little bit dinged up. It's a little bit broken, and the electronics don't work. And I hate to show off a item without being able to show you how it functions. But what I've noticed about a lot of these Mars Attacks toys from 1996 is that even in newer condition, you can't always get the electronics working. A lot of these have batteries that come inside of them for display purposes, and even new in package, this battery's been sitting around for 20 plus years, and they've corroded, and they're nasty, and they got this white chalky powder in them that's ruining all the connections. And even when I scrubbed the connections, I popped this thing open and took out the split open batteries and scrubbed the connections as best as I could, but fresh batteries in there, nothing happens. So this gun is non-functioning, and there's a little bit right here that should flip up. It's about yay tall. It's kind of just a little sight to help target, I suppose, and that's been broken off. So it's not a mint condition gun by any stretch of the imagination, but I've taken a look online. These things tend to run around $35 to $60 depending on who's selling them, and I didn't feel like ponying up that much to get a replacement gun that may or may not work anyway. Besides, this one has sentimental value to me. This is actually a gift. I didn't purchase this. My girlfriend at the time bought it for me, and she has since become my wife. Pro tip here, guys: if a woman buys you a Mars Attacks Brain Disintegrator gun, marry her. Snatch her up. That one's a keeper. So, all that being said, when this gun came out in 1996, came out in two different versions. One was packaged with box art from the Topps comics, and one was packaged in box art from the movie. Now this is the Topps comics version. How can we tell? It's got this little Martian logo back here. Alright, now this was the Martian insignia used in the Topps comics. Fun fact, if the Martians ever do invade, I say if, I really mean when the Martians do invade, if you take this symbol and have it tattooed with the skull in white on your forehead, you will be allotted special privileges. You'll be able to move around more freely than the rest of the humans. They'll assume that you've been cleared for certain security purposes. So yeah, the Martians invade. Just bring this image to your local tattooist before they get blown up. Have them put it in on your forehead. Make sure the skull is white, and you'll be all set. So yeah, so the comic book version has that sticker. It's on the other side as well. It does still have this label here. It says Mars Attacks. They both do. The other difference is that this is a green gun. The one in the movie package is blue, and this one has a rather lovely pink brain right here inside of the gun. The Mars Attacks movie version has a green brain inside of the gun, and of course you can see the brains of the Martians from the movie are nice and green there. So that might have been the thinking, like they grew their own brain to put in there. I don't know. I like the implication here that this is actually a human brain that's been squished down and slapped in this blaster. So between the rather nifty insignia here, the green color, which I prefer to the blue, and the pink brain, I think that this version is definitely the better of the two. But either one would make a really nice addition to any Mars Attacks collection. So let's take a look at the gun itself. Now, there is a tiny little button right here that you could slide for 3 different settings. I believe, it's been a while since I've heard this, but I believe one of them is kind of your standard pew pew, zappy zappy sci-fi ray gun. But the other two are interesting. When you push, or pull rather, the trigger, you get some lights, lights over here, lights at the end of the barrel, and the brain itself lights up as well. And the brain, when it lights up, also throbs. It's pretty cool. There's a little plastic device inside of the brain that spins around and makes the brain look like it's pulsing. Which is why I'm really sad that this doesn't work anymore, because that would have been great to show you guys. But two of the selections for the sound, one of them is kind of a sucking sort of sound, and the other one's a little bit harder to describe. It's kind of the same sound in reverse, if that makes any sense. The idea is that the Martians are using this ray gun to absorb brain power, brain energy, I think, and then zapping it back in a destructive wave. Now, the gun is called a brain disintegrator, so I assume that in one form it steals the energy from a brain and leaves a human being in a catatonic coma state, and the other way, like, obliterates the brain and leaves the human dead with no physical mark on them, leaving people to wonder what happened to them. Just my speculation. Let's bring the gun in, look at some of the details. It's got this pretty cool hosing coming down here. Has no purpose, but it looks cool. On the back side, you can see the sticker's actually a little bit clearer here. The other one's kind of faded with age. Here's where it says Mars attacks. And this is a blue sticker, and I think that's the same shade of blue that the other version of the gun is, so that would have blended better on that gun. This is the battery compartment. It takes 3 AA batteries, so if you do get one of these, hopefully it'll work better for you. Here's a great sci-fi 1950 style barrel. Up here, as I said, is where the little sighting unit would have been. Fits really nice in the hand. Of course, I do have smaller hands, but even if you had bigger hands, you could put 3 fingers in there quite easily. And that's about it. Now, for comparison, here it is next to the Men in Black Alien Attack Agent in Training gun, which I showed off in its own video. And you can see they're roughly the same size here. The Mars Attacks gun is a little bit longer from the barrel. Yeah, Martians versus Men in Black is a thing I would love to see happen. I doubt it ever will. But, oh well, you know what? That's what the action figures are for, right? So yeah, outside of being able to actually get this thing working, that's all I can really show you. But like I said, the price on this starts around $35, which I think is fair. It's a little bit more expensive than I would like, but for the age of the thing, and it wasn't, the most common toy on the shelf, and it looks really nice. It doesn't look like anything used in the movies, but it definitely has a feel that you would imagine it could have been. So if this looks like an interesting purchase, go ahead and pick one up. See if you can, contact the seller and ask if the electronics are working. I will warn you that even if they say yes, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. I dug this one out of my attic and I pulled the trigger and I got a little bit of lights and sounds. But after I removed the nasty split open batteries and put fresh ones in, it won't do anything. So, and there might still be a little bit of juice flowing through it. If they pull the trigger for a test, they might think it's still working. So it's kind of, it's kind of up in the air whether or not you'll get a working copy or not. But even for display, this is a really nice piece, and I do recommend picking it up if you like it, if you're able to. So guys, this has been the Starving Martian. We'll catch up with you later. Until then, keep watching the skies.